His life.
Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Got your blood.
Follow the leader.
the leader.
Oh my God. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn!
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
Something that's interesting to know about your inner critic, besides the fact that people love to mistake it for their whole selves or their central self, is that it's a primary protector in all people that is born through the process of socialization. And what's interesting about that part is that it holds the truth of your values. Did you know that? Your inner critic is the one that holds the truth of your values, especially those values where you run the risk of losing a relationship. So what is that one trying to get you to do or avoid? That inner voice, right? That inner critic is not your enemy. It's always the one that is trying to hold you up to some value. And it quiets down only when you seriously face and consider that value. So once you start to develop this like positive relationship with this protector within yourself, that constant criticism internally goes down till you no longer hear it.
Man, oh man, a Shevitz. Don't run from it. Lean into it. Allow it to share its insights. But it takes you back to the concept. Has the voice, your inner voice, been compromised by unhealed wounds? By its creators. According to Colin Tippin, author of Radical Self-Forgiveness, right? He says that inner child is a judge, but the inner child judge is overridden by the parental judge and the societal judge. He says those two judges beat up on the inner child or that inner voice in your head, beating up on it. How do you free your inner child from the parental judge, right? Because that makes you a people, or not a people pleaser, but a parental pleaser. That's a topic in and of itself, a parental pleaser and a societal pleaser. So you can be accepted on both fronts. So you've really disempowered your you pleaser. Uh-oh. That inner critic is supposed to represent inner clarity, clear sight, sight that is not contaminated by the past. Okay, all right. I'm sorry. Let me get Nzinga back in here. Nzinga, get in here, please.
Yeah, you said that the mind is the PR for the mouth.
For the mouth,
and
yeah.
I believe it because, like, who you did I think I don't know if it was this week or last week, but you had Gangstar, and he said when you said that, it made me think these are the words that I manifest. And so, in the mind, if you're in a mood of pettiness or you're angry or you're bitter, you're going to manifest in that energy, and everything you say and do, unfortunately, is going to be manifested out of those energies.
Wait, what's the name of that
And
record
so,
again? It's Gangstar, right? Words I
yeah, these are
Manifest?
yes, sir.
Or I Manifest is the name of the record.
Yeah.
Yes. Come on. I hear you, Nzinga. Come on.
No, but if you're in, and I don't necessarily agree that the inner child is a judge, because I bought a meditation, an inner child meditation, and the woman who's talking, she helps you through guided meditation. And when I seen my baby, she didn't look like no judge. She was beat up. So I don't know. I mean,
Interesting.
I'm not the expert, but if you're in a relationship and in your mind you're full of all this, bitterness, vitriol, and things like that. Like I said, you're gonna speak that over your partner. Imagine your partner has to be delusional and do something that they've never done. Nobody in their family ever done. And as a partner, because you have to have a certain amount of delusion to try to conquer something that you have no plan for. That's just how I feel about it. And you need a certain amount of support, a certain amount of encouragement. If they're in their mind that they don't believe in themselves, or they're negative to themselves, like I said, they're gonna be talking to you out of both sides of their mouth. They'll be encouraging you while wishing that you don't succeed at the same time. And if you don't think it can be done, it can be done. They won't be trying to put you on the things that can help you. I remember I was watching, and what kind of got me to retrain my mind and knew that I needed to stop. I love the show Third Rock. I love that show. And in one episode, Tina Fey, I forget what happened, Mrs. O, but she started talking to herself, and I had to pause that show because in that moment, God showed me. And after that, I was like, I can't. It was disgusting. My default was to, say bad things to myself. Again, because I took the baton. Instead of losing the race, I took the baton and just kept running around the track. And I couldn't do that to myself because I'm too dope. I couldn't, I couldn't do that to myself. So I've been just, it's going on a year. I've been just doing things differently and just trying to retrain myself and, speak positive to me. So that way, when I'm encouraging people and I'm speaking to them and I'm trying to love on people, it's authentic. Because I'm not going to say that my love was not authentic. I don't want to say that. But it's just not the same, and I can tell the difference. I can tell the difference. And I'm just happy that I'm on that road.
Nzinga, I love you. You on the phone talking to me like we like we first cousins. We just catching up. Hey, I appreciate the call.
I appreciate you.
Nothing but love. You brought Pensacola, Florida in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me. 1-800-920-1580. I can keep going. True Monger, Dallas, Texas. Get in here.
Yes, sir.
What up, bro? What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Oh, boy. You got to be careful how you talk to yourself, how you think about yourself. Because like Zinga was saying, it will manifest. And it will start to show once, especially if you're outside. It will show, but it'll be even worse when you're inside by yourself if you don't flip it, if you don't check yourself.
So kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Because you could do a lot of damage to yourself if you continue to think and speak to yourself in a negative light. Eventually, it's going to happen. You're going to go through stuff. You might be upset in moments. That's all of us. But if that kind of thinking, that kind of speech continues, you're going to do more harm to yourself than good. You got to be able to catch yourself and learn from whatever upset you or whatever made you sad, and start building yourself back up. Because you're going to destroy yourself so much. At some point, you got to realize what you're doing and flip it.
I love it. I love it. True Meezy.
Yes, sir.
Guess what you just did, brother?
Just brought Dallas in the building.
Dallas, Texas is in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, if you want to get on the line and talk about the negative self-talk you have inflicted upon yourself, please call us. The number to dial, 1-800-920-1580. We got Attila from Houston, Texas. Attila, come on. Texas is in the building. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
What's up, Unc? How are you?
I'm alive and well. I'm alive and well. Thank you so much.
Are we? Did we get some rest? I'm sorry. Go ahead. My bad.
Nah. No.
Okay. All right. Well, first I want to say it's been a joy creating with you. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I actually don't know how. I remember mentioning this to you, and I don't know how that worked. I think we kind of both came up with some things, but nonetheless, I think a lot of us are just comfortable drinking our own poison. So I think it's just easier sometimes to stay in this. And one of the ways that a toxic spell can look is the woe is me. So the part I really want to touch that we haven't touched yet is the victim mentality and the victim role that we're comfortable with playing. If I don't have to acknowledge the ways in which I've damaged myself, I can always blame it on you. And so when we're talking about being in relationship with someone, no matter how encouraging they are, if you are discouraging to yourself, you're basically canceling out every positive word they could possibly put into you. And so I think that we have to be discerning in how we encourage other people, because some of the things that people go through, they brought on themselves. And so I'm not necessarily saying that to be critical. I'll just say that it is a reality. And until you actually sit there and do the work and kind of look at the ledger of all the negatives that you placed in your bank next to the positives, right, you don't really have a frame of reference. And so I think another reason why the victim role is convenient is because it's comfortable. You don't have to do any growth. It doesn't hurt other than the hurt that you have self-inflicted. And I think on a larger scale, I hate to say this, I think we get so conditioned to the pain that we receive from others that we start to like the pain. And in a sense, it's like, well, I'm just going to inflict it on myself. It's almost like,
wow.
Yes, it's almost kind of like when I think about being a fearful avoidant and getting icks, even from well-meaning people who want to help, and having that over self-reliance. To me, it's like kind of like beating yourself with a cat o' nine tails. Like, you want to suffer. One of the earliest things I can remember saying to myself was that I wasn't good enough. And so the way in which that manifested for me, the fruit that I've had to reap from that is overexhausting myself, overworking. And God is so masterful because he'll put you in a place where you can't work anymore.
Look at that.
You can't do it. And so I think either a person will show up in your life to essentially help dig up those rotten fruits that you planted in your garden, or you're going to have to do the work and dig it out yourself. But either way, I think that we have to really get in touch with ourselves and understand our addictions to destruction.
So you're telling me that the victimhood mindset is a type of psycho-spiritual spell one casts upon themselves because they won't or they don't want to relinquish the victimhood position.
Correct. Just like I can find power in transcending the pain that I've experienced, I believe that in a negative sense, you can garner some dark power from just sitting in it and essentially using that to project onto other people. so it's kind of like another thing I want to relate this to as well is toxic positivity.
Go ahead. You got the space. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I feel like toxic positivity does a disservice to people who have a victimhood mindset, because you're not actually confronting what it is within that person that they need to fix. But then also, you get what I'm saying? But then also, you are allowing that. It's a, what's the word, Unc? I'm losing my words. You're kind of like assuaging the wound, but then you're also like enmeshed with their pain as well. Because again, if I have to address your pain, then looking at your pain in a sense helps me look at mine, because we're mirroring one another, right?
Right.
And so if you're in a state of woe is me, then it behooves me as someone who doesn't want to do the work to say, oh, it's okay.
That's what.
To call to you.
This is deep. This is so wild. And people prefer that position because there's a steady supply of sympathy.
Correct. A steady supply of sympathy, a steady supply of that little pain fix that you need. There's a steady supply of ego, a steady supply of false image, right? So you're basically helping me uphold my mask. All right? Because again, if my mask is breaking and you're the one that's constantly bandaging it up and fixing it, I'm not going to go against you.
No, you know what's crazy about what you're saying? You're describing a toxic person. Just look how rich and layered this idea is. Have you ever interacted with a toxic person who utilizes toxic positivity?
Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah.
You ain't got no nerve. You shouldn't be telling nobody it's going to be okay, when internally
you don't know that.
You're a mess.
Right. And but also we don't know the future, and it's okay to. It's okay to let people suffer in front of you. I have the hardest time. It's really difficult sometimes for me to, when it's someone I love, watch them be in pain. Mm-hmm. But I think that you're doing them a disservice by trying to get them out of that, by giving them little quips and little sayings. And, oh, wait, my mom used to say, we don't care what your mom used to say. Let that person actually sit in their mess, because when you find the mess, you find yourself. You have to dig yourself up out of that rubble.
Or when you find the mess, you find the message. Stay with me, Attila. When we come forward, we going back to Houston, Texas.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I have asthma. I'm at risk too.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Paid for by government. Did you hear? A secret hoard of 1893 $10 gold Liberty coins has been found. These gorgeous 1893p gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this secret U.S. gold gold coin discovery a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you can own a piece of the hoard. When you call, you are guaranteed an 1893 Gold Liberty struck at the iconic Philadelphia Mint. With limited availability, you must call now. These 1893 dated gold coins are still in uncirculated condition with brilliant luster. That is 131 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-473-3993. Call now and you'll receive a free bonus, a $50 value free with every order. Call 1-800-473-3993 now to secure your 1893p $10 Gold Liberty coins before they sell out. That's 1-800-473-3993.
We used to argue about whose turn it was to clean the gutters, but then I had Leaf Filter gutter protection installed.
Wait, I told you Leaf Filter had free inspections and estimates and a lifetime guarantee.
Meaning we never have to argue about whose turn it is to clean the gutters again.
But I visited leaffilter.com/beacon first.
No, I did.
It doesn't matter who. Visit leaffilter.com/beacon to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off today.
See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be a sign that your digestive system isn't working at its best? Taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil fiber powders help promote your daily digestive health using a plant-based fiber called psyllium. The gelling action of this special fiber traps and removes waste, so you can feel lighter and more energetic. Metamucil, promoting digestive health for a better you. Learn more at metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
You know you want some more. More. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Dr. Orion Taraban, and this is PsycHacks, Better Living Through Psychology. And the topic of today's short talk is, what is the critical inner voice? The critical inner voice is a very important psychological concept. I think we all have it to some degree or another. However, it can be sadistically cruel in the case of certain people. Now, the critical inner voice isn't a hallucination. People don't experience the voice as coming from outside of their own heads. Rather, it's a malevolent form of self-talk that can, in its extreme forms, be incessantly berating and abusive. For instance, it's the thought that judges you very harshly when you make a mistake, or that overgeneralizes global personality flaws from local failures and rejections. It's very, very difficult to enjoy any kind of quality of life when the critical inner voice is active and energetic. So, where does it come from? A lot of researchers believe that the critical inner voice is an introject of the parent's perceived negative attitudes towards the child. These negative attitudes may have been explicit in the form of physical or emotional abuse, But in most cases, these negative attitudes were implicit in the form of a look, a gesture, a tone of voice, a withdrawal of affection, etc. And the child unconsciously internalizes these attitudes as a critical inner voice. It does so because, despite the cruelty of this voice, it's preferable for the child to consider itself loathsome than it is to believe its parents are hateful, given its dependence on them. So, what do we do about it? The first step to addressing the critical inner voice is to begin to appreciate that this voice isn't really you. It's an introject. An introject is like a thought or a belief that doesn't really belong to you, but is nevertheless inside your head. It's similar to how a hamburger isn't actually a part of your body, even though it's inside your stomach. You wouldn't think, I ate a hamburger and now that hamburger is me, but people think all the time, I had a thought, so it must belong to me. The first step to addressing the critical inner voice is to make this voice ego alien, which means to identify this voice as other, as not me.
Stop. That's crucial. Ego alien. How many of you have integrated your inner voice into your ego? Your inner voice is making relationship decisions for you. I don't like, your inner voice is answering as I don't even like that. He or she ain't good for me. It's not funny, but it is in a way. I'm sorry. But that's happening to a lot of people. This is what I'm saying, man. Like, first off, you got to treat your relationship, right, with yourself the way you would treat your relationship with your child. Now, and I'm saying that as, because we're gonna play that again when we come back. But I'm saying that to say, like, you become a parent, you think, man, I want to do the best I can, but then sometimes the ugliness comes out of you in front of those kids and you realize, dang, I got to do better. I got to switch up. I got to change. This is why a lot of times you look at your children as your teacher, because they're revealing things about your inner self and your inner world that you left unchecked. But now that they're there, you want to protect them. But I'm simply saying that to say so many people have such a disastrous relationship with themselves that this little inner voice gets to run roughshod all over their spirit, internally, negative, putting themselves down, and being hard on themselves. This is happening all over the world. When I come forward, we're going to go back to that clip with Dr. Orion Taraban. He was cooking with hot grease. And then we're going to talk to Attila one more again.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Tyreek Wynn. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Rapper Chris King is dead after an April 20th shooting. Nashville, Tennessee police are investigating the incident. According to a police statement, King was there with friends in an alley when 3 other men they didn't know approached them. A surviving victim from King's group told police the other 3 men attempted to rob them. A$AP Rocky is teasing his upcoming album with a new clothing collection through his company Og. The drop includes shirts, hoodies, and tank tops with slogans like American Sabotage, A$AP Rocky, and Don't Be Dumb, which is the title of the album. New York City Mayor Eric Adams, who's black, is unveiling details of his $111 billion budget for fiscal year 2025. The budget includes $514 million to support key education programs that were previously funded expiring COVID stimulus dollars. The budget proposal also adds 2 more police classes that would put an additional 1,200 officers on the street. That's the latest. I'm Tyreek Wynn on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Get their SpringFest doorbusters while you can right now at Lowe's. Stock up on $5 spring cleaning must-haves from Scrub Daddy, Tide Simply, and more. Offer valid through 4/22 while supplies last.
Follow the leader. KBLA Talk 1580. Follow the leader.
If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Got your black.
Follow the leader.
Following the leader.
Oh my God.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month. If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
It's time for California Community College's Black Student Success Week. This week-long event, held April 22nd through the 26th, is an opportunity to focus on innovative approaches to ensuring Black and African American students succeed in their educational pursuits. Black Student Success Week 2024, building a better future together. The urgency is now. For more information, visit blackstudentsuccess.com. That's blkstudentsuccess.com.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so, as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
If we're the ones disproportionately impacted by these climate catastrophes, why should we be silent? Turning up the volume all year long on the climate conversation for KBLA Talk 1580.
Don't shave with that, son. You'll get razor bumps.
Nah, Pops. I'm good with Gillette's Skin Guard. How long you been growing that beard anyway? You know Mama hates it.
Yeah, had it since my last wet shave in 77. Got ingrown so bad, looked like I was growing a patch of new noses.
That's why I use the Gillette Skin Guard razor, face scrub, shave gel, and moisturize, so I don't have to worry about new razor bumps or shaving irritation.
Gillette Skin Guard, huh? Your mama's gonna love this one.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA reminds you that when we fight, we win, and we don't black down. LA Community Action Network, or LA CAN, was formed in 1999 when 25 residents of downtown LA came together and acknowledged the problems that existed in their community and made a commitment to do something about those problems, to stand together, organize, and become a force in the community that demands change. Civil rights and preventing the criminalization of poverty are their core projects. In addition, they take on women's rights, the human right to housing, and healthy food, access. LA Can also has projects focused on economic development, civic participation, voter engagement, and community media. While downtown LA remains their home base, with a particular emphasis on the Skid Row community, in 2007 they expanded their housing and healthy food access work into South Central Los Angeles. LA Can believes that power for low-income people and people of color is achieved through a large, active, and well-informed member base that utilizes a multitude of methods to advance their messages and goals. If you'd like to join the Los Angeles Community Action Network and organize people to fight back against oppression, please visit cangress.org. That's cangress.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, baby, how you doing? Wow, it's really been a long time, you know? Remember that night? You remember? On a starry winter night in Portugal, kiss the southern shore. There a dream I never thought would come to pass. Came and went like time spent through an hourglass. You made love to me like fire and rain. Oh, you know you've got to be a hurricane, killing me with kisses oh so subtly.
I'm Dr. Orion Taraban, and this is PsycHacks, Better Living Through Psychology. And the topic of today's short talk is, what is the critical inner voice? The critical inner voice is a very important psychological concept. I think we all have it to some degree or another. However, it can be sadistically cruel in the case of certain people. Now, the critical inner voice isn't a hallucination. People don't experience the voice as coming from outside of their own heads. Rather, it's a malevolent form of self-talk that can, in its extreme forms, be incessantly berating and abusive. For instance, it's the thought that judges you very harshly when you make a mistake, or that overgeneralizes global personality flaws from local failures and rejections. It's very, very difficult to enjoy any kind of quality of life when the critical inner voice is active and energetic. So, where does it come from? A lot of researchers believe that the critical inner voice is an introject of the parent's perceived negative attitudes towards the child. These negative attitudes may have been explicit in the form of physical or emotional abuse, but in most cases, these negative attitudes were implicit in the form of a look, a gesture, a tone of voice, a withdrawal of affection, etc. And the child unconsciously internalizes these attitudes as a critical inner voice. It does so because, despite the cruelty of this voice, it's preferable for the child to consider itself loathsome than it is to believe its parents are hateful, given its dependence on them. So, what do we do about it? The first step to addressing the critical inner voice is to begin to appreciate that this voice isn't really you. It's an introject. An introject is like a thought or a belief that doesn't really belong to you, but is nevertheless inside your head. It's similar to how a hamburger isn't actually a part of your body, even though it's inside your stomach. You wouldn't think, I ate a hamburger and now that hamburger is me, but people think all the time, I had a thought, so it must belong to me. The first step to addressing the critical inner voice is to make this voice ego alien, which means to identify this voice as other, as not me. If you can do that, that's already a big first step in the direction of resolving the problem. I'll talk about next steps in future episodes. For today, let's content ourselves with an introduction to the critical inner voice, its origins, and the first step toward its undoing.
Man, the inner voice is not you. Let me get Attila from Houston, Texas back in here to get her final thoughts on this. Talk to us. Like, wrap it up for us. Send us home. Send us home with goods and gifts, and send us something. Send us home with something to chew on, young lady. Go for it.
Well, you know my name means gift of God, so hey, I got to do what I got to do. But anyway, though, so this is actually reminding me of a verse from Proverbs. So it says, faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. Yeah.
Come on, say it again, but this time put a little church flavor on it, slow it down a little bit, and let it resonate. Let it resonate in our spirit. Say it one more time, Sister Attila.
That's Queen Nikki, okay? I'm gonna just say it like this: faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful.
Yes. My. Yes. My. Yes. Okay.
No.
And
all
continue.
Right. So what that means to me in regards to our relationships, and I've done this so many times, like we seek the people that give us the kisses, right? But that's the enemy. So you don't even know that there's like a 10-inch knife that's like primed and ready for you.
So let's go deeper.
And
wait, no. See, you done woke something up in me now.
Okay.
See, people think that the enemy is on attack, right? The enemy is attacking. But just like like narcissism is on a spectrum, there's a grandiose narcissist and then there's a covert narcissist, right?
This is true.
A covert enemy wants to keep you asleep. So the covert enemy is feeding the wound in order for you to think that they're the source, right?
Yes.
I'm getting this from this person and they're giving me what I want and this is my person. But if you're not growing, if you're not squaring off against those internal wounds, if you're not beating back the voice of the inner victim, the perpetual victim, the perpetual child, the old wounds, if you're not at war with that, you're codependent on an external source in order to feel safe and comfortable. Am I wrong? Talk to me.
No, you're exactly right. But I feel like this all goes back to Krishnamurti. The issue is that you don't objectively see yourself. So you're choosing people who pedestalize the image that you made of yourself.
Come on.
Right? So when they stop upholding that image because they start to see the real you, then you're like, well, what's going on? Oh, hold on now. You know, you like that. But that's just the truth. I think we like to hear the niceties and the fakeness. It's like we talked about yesterday or whatever day that was, 2 days ago. We like when people are fake to us because we are fake to ourselves, and that's just the bottom line. When the person does not uphold the image that you see of yourself, you're ready to get rid of them.
If you're not safe with you, Attila, can you be safe with anybody else?
No. And you know what's so crazy? Like, I really feel like that's kind of the genesis of the whole be his peace, like, or be her peace, happy wife, happy life. I really feel like that's like the genesis of those types of sayings. Because again, it's like you said, it's that externalization of the thing that you can really give yourself.
So all the meaningful, no, stay with me. All the meaningful things in life, Love is a state of consciousness. Peace is a state of consciousness. But in this society, we've turned love into a verb, a set of actions, right? Peace. I know how to make a peaceful house, but you don't have a peaceful heart.
Ooh.
See, at the end of the day, we've turned the result into the peacemaker, not the state of consciousness. This is how you gonna be at peace. You got negative self-talk going on.
Right.
You got toxic positivity going on. Right? You your worst critic. You your harshest judge. But you know how to make a peaceful house. Knock it. Okay, Attila, what did you just do, sweetheart? What did you just do?
I brought Houston in the building.
Houston, Texas is in the building when we come forward. The voice of reason will continue with the phone calls. We on fire tonight.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
To help combat climate change, LADWP is helping neighborhoods have better access to electric vehicles by awarding nearly $130 million in EV rebates to customers just like you. From big savings on used EVs to building new charging plazas, LADWP is charging ahead to help all Angelinos experience the benefits of EVs. Get rebates of up to $4,000 for a used EV and $1,750 for a charger. Learn more at ladwp.com/EV. That's ladwp.com/EV. City of Los Angeles tenants, verify your Emergency Renters Assistance Program status today if you applied for the program. Tenants approved for rental assistance are protected from eviction for non-payment of rent through May 31st, 2024. And it's illegal under law for landlords to refuse rental assistance to you based on your source of income. Refusing assistance can be used as an affirmative defense in an eviction case. So check your application status now at housing.lacity.org. That's housing.lacity.org. Be informed, be protected, be at home. Hey, LA residents, it's planting season and the perfect time to get shade trees growing around your home. LADWP and City Plants are giving every resident up to 7 free trees. That's right, 7 free trees delivered right to your door. Trees are great for the environment, help improve air quality, and can help you save on your bill when you use less air conditioning to stay cool indoors. Learn more at ladwp.com/free trees. That's ladwp.com/free trees.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. Pro Football Hall of Famer and urban peace pioneer Jim Brown believed in just that. So he founded the Amera I Can Foundation for Social Change in 1988, focusing on at-risk and high-risk youth in underserved schools and juvenile detention facilities, as well as adult incarceration and reentry initiatives. The core of the Amera I Can program is its 15-chapter life skills curriculum. Mastery of these skills allows individuals to meet their academic potential, conform their behavior to acceptable societal standards, and improve the quality of their lives by equipping them with what they need to confidently and successfully contribute to society. Today, the foundation is led by its president, Monique Brown, who has been actively involved in the organization for more than 25 years. The Amera I Can Foundation continues its work in memory of its founder, actor, philanthropist, and NFL legend Jim Brown. To get involved or make a donation, please visit AmeriICanCommunity.partners. That's AmeriICanCommunity.partners. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Let me take you to Xanadu.
Where is that?
Behind the groove.
Well, all right.
There's another side inside of you. Behind the groove. You can make
I think chatter is one of the big problems we face as a species. We spend between 1/3 and 1/2 of our waking hours not living in the present. And what do we do during that time? We're talking to ourselves. Your inner voice is your ability to silently use language to reflect on your life. Chatter refers to the dark side of the inner voice. When we turn our attention inward to make sense of our problems, we don't end up finding solutions. We end up ruminating, worrying, catastrophizing. We get stuck in a negative cycle that takes this remarkable tool that we possess, this inner voice, and it turns it into a curse rather than a blessing. My name is Ethan Cross. I'm a professor of psychology and management, and I'm the author of the book Chatter, The Voice in Our Head, Why It Matters, and How to Harness It.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason back in the building. We've been on fire all night tonight. KBLA Talk 1580, you know what it is. Tavis Smiley created this platform. It's on fire. We got 12 million listeners. He is one of only 2 black men in Los Angeles that actually own a radio station. Come on, man. Y'all got to give it up for Tavis Smiley, man. He's on fire, man. And this is what we do. We curate powerful conversations, whether they're political, whether they are relationship-based, financial. We talk about everything, but we talk about it from a progressive standpoint and on the cutting edge of intellectual stimulation, man. We got it. We killing right now. And tonight, VOR, 7 to 9 p.m., you know how I do. My final call is ready to get his point across. He's calling all the way from Chicago, Illinois. Get in here, Tyrese. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Yo, peace to the gods. Oh, fire topic.
Thank you, brother.
Atala, you killed it with this one.
Man, she wild, right?
Man. So, I'm gonna make it as cliche as possible. If you working on yourself, then everything that you do should be about self. Self-love, self-respect, self-discipline. If you work on them things, then I feel like things on the outside would change. That's with those relationships. But I got a question of when you got to face past traumas or deal with those attachment style issues, don't nobody want to deal with themselves. Everybody use distractions every day in order to not. That's that whole I'm bored. You ain't bored because if you was bored, then why you won't take time to work on yourself? I mean, but we all run from dealing with ourselves because we're afraid of ourselves.
100%.
Those attachment style issues show up from us dealing with those childhood traumas, but if we deal with those and it don't fix nothing still on the outside, we just continually working on self. So for those of us that like to say things like, I beat myself up more than I beat up others. But if we follow it up with, hey, I'm putting in the work of actually doing the work on self, and it shows, is that not creating a balance also? Or should we really just use the power of words as, hey, that's something that you're speaking is negative and you don't want to do that?
So let me address this. Because a lot of times when people think you're articulate, charismatic, intelligent, they think you got all the answers. They think your life is in order. So based on what you just broke down, right? They pedestalize, as Attila just mentioned. First off, understand this, and this will allow you to give yourself some grace. Self-work is never ending. You can never graduate from self-work. Self-knowledge, never ending. You can always learn more about yourself. See, we live in a society that is result driven. So we're looking at an end goal. At the end of the day, you getting better is a life process. So if you could take a little pressure off of yourself by saying, this is just the goal I'm looking towards now, whether it be healing a forgiveness wound, a worthiness wound, an acknowledgement wound, an acceptance wound, whatever the wound may be. Take it one wound at a time. Take it one issue at a time. And then be encouraged to look for the next wound. So you've heard me say this before. I say when you walk into a relationship, many of us are looking at how our partner should show up in order to make our wounds comfortable. But really, you're supposed to show up looking for how you're going to respond when triggered. I said it yesterday. It's not your issue that is the issue. It's how you respond to your issue that is the issue. And when you find yourself reacting and responding less over a perceived slight, you're growing. But if you put all your time, energy, and effort into trying to curate the behavior and the words of your partner in order to tiptoe around an unhealed wound, you're going to use gaslighting. You're going to use manipulation. You're going to use stonewalling. You're going to pull back. You're not going to talk. You're going to use omission. You're going to use all these tactics in order to maintain some type of control because you don't know how to emotionally regulate. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
That's the work. But people don't want to do that work. Relationships are about the Cheesecake Factory and Nobu and Maestros and Ruth Chris and Netflix and chill and we late this month. Yeah, that's what relationships are about. And it's a shame, man. It's a shame. Relationships are a spiritual school, brother. It's a spiritual school, the University of You. Let me say this, Tyrese. I appreciate you for calling, brother. You bought who in the building?
Chi-Town.
Shy-Teasy in the heezy. Listen, we start the conversations. You are not required to agree with what we're talking about. But just know, I got love for y'all. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. Up next, on the 9, you already know what it is. Tavis Smiley wraps us up for our day. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. I'll see you next week with a whole new slew of topics. Deuces.
Tender was the kiss when you held me captive in your sweet embrace. My lips began